This is going to be a channeled message from the Akashic Records for what you need to know today. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Carey Kaas. I'm a medium, a channel, and a mentor. And I am a trance medium, a trance channel, and I work regularly with a variety of higher dimensional beings, angels, goddesses, and different spirits that I communicate with to bring through messages of hope, healing, ascension, and understanding. And so when I tapped in today to see what the message should be, what will we focus on for this reading, they said they wanted to do a channeled message from the Akashic Records. I do this in a variety of ways. You'll notice on this page, sometimes I do trance mediumship, which is when I bring them through and they connect with my energy and then they speak through me. And then often what I do is I connect with them and do what's known as inspirational speaking. So they speak through me, but it's a blending with my energy. And so because we're working in the Akashic Records today, and I'll probably be working with a collective of spirits that are there, we will see what we bring through. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes for a moment, tune in, and just see what the message is. I haven't done this as much in a video. I mostly do this on my live stream on Fridays, and so we'll see what comes through. So I'm connecting in with some of the Ascended Masters. That's who is coming through in the Akashic Records, to see what they have to say. So I am definitely dealing with Lady Nada and Saint Germain. And Saint Germain, I have a connection with him that has gone on for about 5 or 6 years, and I always find him to be just so pleasant and easy to communicate with. Lady Nada is newer to me, so we'll just see what comes through, what they give us. I'm going to just blend with their energy and see what's coming through. So, Saint Germain. He is saying that you are two sides of a coin. You have two parts to yourself. You have the wise part, the one that is all-knowing, the one that is connected into a larger perspective, that has a sense of infinity, that looks at things in multiple ways, that realizes that miracles can occur and are plausible. And you also have a part of yourself that's human, he's saying, that doesn't want to expand, that doesn't want to grow, that looks at things from a limited perspective, that wants to hold on. And what Saint Germain is saying is that both of these are valid parts of you. Both of these parts need to be understood. Both of these parts can be examined. And both of these parts should be held in a space together, because they influence each other and they help each other. And what Saint Germain is also saying is that we have different parts of our personality ourselves. We have, again, the wise part. We have the human part that resists. We have the inner child. We also have the divine mother, the goddess. We have the sacred masculine. And then we have parts of ourselves that feel fractured. And so one exercise he's showing me is to imagine that you're bringing all these parts together around like a beautiful fire, and just allowing each part of yourself to connect, to be able to give wisdom, information, and guidance, to give each other a turn to talk. Because through that talking, through that connecting, through that healing, through that lack of avoidance, there is a blending of energy. And the parts that are resisting and holding on can release and relax. And also the part that's fatherly can nurture the child in a healing way. The part that's motherly can also work with the inner teen, the goddess energy, the divine mother. They can all synthesize and collaborate together is what he's showing me. And many of you are in this process now where you're stepping into your power energetically. This is a new experience. This is a new timeline. And some parts of you don't know what should come next. And parts of you want to escape because you sometimes feel concerned or flooded with different feelings which make you feel unstable or unsafe. But he's saying he wants you to notice when you constrict your energy. And when that happens, he's really talking about being balanced in the body and in the energy field and being grounded, imagining that your feet are firmly planted on the ground and that you have roots that grow down to the center of Mother Gaia. And then from the base of your spine, you also have a beautiful grounding cord that goes down. He's saying really that as you do that, what happens is the nature spirits, your plant allies, the guardians of the earth that are for the highest good, and then those that help in the mid-levels, right, with the human difficulties and challenges, your guides, your benevolent ancestors, and the wisdom keepers that are around you. As you get centered and you open your energy, you're able to take in and absorb the true nature of who you are, your blueprint, which really does come as part of you from higher self. It's connected to the Akashic Records, but it's also who you are. You remember yourself. So getting familiar with your energy as you feel this disconnection, as you're trying to heal these parts, as you're trying to balance out and be seen. That's Saint Germain. I'm going to bring Lady Nada forward to see what she has to say as well. Beloved, this is a beautiful time to anchor your seed and plant it into the earth. You've been allowing energy from your sacred union with self, divinity, to escape. You've also allowed yourself to be marginalized, made small. And she's showing me this image of almost like a strong outer casing of like a walnut. And it feels very much that this part of you needs to be released and cracked open. I see like an image of an old nutcracker, the silver ones that just crack these walnuts open so we can get to the very center of who you truly are. There's really a playfulness here as well that's waiting to escape, waiting to be free, waiting to share with all of you, and waiting for you also to have a chance to hear the song of your soul. And it's more of a whisper at this point, she's saying, but it's also flooded with so much divinity, so much love, so much wisdom, and so much light. And you've been allowing it to escape. You've been allowing it to move away from you. And the reason is because you don't feel a part of it. And that's why, as Saint Germain said, it's so important to be able to bring these parts together so that you can understand you're safe in all spaces, that you are not split apart, that you are not fractured, that you in fact are anchored and planted in divinity. And you have such a beautiful range of colors and textures and parts of yourself that are waiting to grow and be nourished. I see these flowers and plants of all different hues and colors, and some colors you've never seen that have traveled through many places to get to where you are today. You also have a soul family that's circling around you, trying to help you understand and preserve your legacy, because on this earth and in other star systems, you have lived already and accumulated so much wisdom and knowledge that now is the time for you to share that wisdom and knowledge with the earth. Remember, this is a gateway period for you, and it very much is a time to know that you will be transported on your journey to each next step through this time tunnel that's being shown before me. And you are very much precious and sacred to those that are here to help and celebrate you. There's such a deep inner wisdom within you that is infused in your breath, really know that you are held with so much strength and wisdom, and that it is a time for you to feel this beauty of being cherished and the wisdom that comes through. Our last words to you, she says, are that you are birthing your own child onto this earth. Your child is the gift that you bring to the world. And as you're learning to go through this impregnation of this beautiful offering, know that you're going to go through stages. Sometimes you're going to feel nauseous. Sometimes you're going to feel unsteady. Sometimes you're going to feel blissful. And sometimes you're going to feel as though there's a part of you that jumped way ahead. So brace yourself for the insurmountable amount of love that is coming your way. When I say brace, I also mean release. Be in grace. Embrace. That's their message. I'm so touched myself and delighted that Lady Nada came through. And also, I have to tell you, before we leave the Akashic Records, a lot of your ancestors are lining up here. I can see them right on the horizon in the Akashic Records. And they're rubbing their hands, many of them for you, in the hopes and the anticipation of what is to come, because they know that you're all part of each other's connection and lineage, and that as you move forward, you in fact do help humanity in front of you. You're part of the puzzle. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me channel and bring this information through. I mean, I'm very touched that they came through. We're going to close this group records. Everything will be timestamped below. If you want to come back to this, make sure you save it. And please be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. All right, take care.